Hi, this is Charlie Edwards. Please subscribe to Sporting Icon for the latest boxing news.
Right, so the WBA are actually leading by example on this one, and big up to them for it. And they're actually doing something good this year of 2021. But of course, we're still waiting for them to sort out their ranking system. But either way, the WBA, they have suspended the judge, whose name is Carlos Sucre, after he scored Juan Francisco Estrada 117 to 1111 over Roman Gonzalez. Of course, a rematch this past weekend. And the WBA president, Gilberto Mendoza, has said, "I do not detract from the champion, but in close fights, such a large score is intolerable." So absolutely correct with that one. And I kind of wish that the other sanctioned bodies would follow suit. And especially here, of course, locally with the British Boxing Board of Control, we have so many mismatched scorecards where most people go, how on earth did you come to that conclusion? And the British Boxing Board of Control will always make excuses. They'll always pretend, or even if they do, have some kind of investigation where they speak to the judge, and the judge will apparently say, well, this is how I scored it, this is what I see, and the British Boxing Board of Control will defend them to the hill each and every time by saying, well, that's what he saw or she saw, it is what it is, we move on from it. But they don't do anything about it, which kind of like leads me to suspect that they don't actually do anything to start with. Because, unfortunately, boxing is subjective, and it shouldn't be subjective. At the end of the day, these judges are paid so-called professionals. So they should all be looking at each round and what happens during each round from the same perspective. They should be scoring it exactly the same. But it doesn't seem to be that way. It seems that judges will score a certain fighter because maybe they're the home fighter. They will look for every reason that they possibly can to give it to the home fighter. Sometimes the away fighter, just to prove that they're really not like biased or whatever it may be. Some judges will give in to peer pressure from the crowd. Some judges are just quite clearly incompetent. Because it always goes back to the same way of, how can one judge have it heavily in favour of one fighter and the other judge have it heavily in favour of the other fighter? How does that even work? It shouldn't work like that. And especially with a fight like this, with Estrada and Gonzalez, where the fight was pretty close. And I think most people will probably agree that Gonzalez maybe should have got a nod in that one. Worst case scenario, maybe a draw. But again, boxing is subjective, right? You can kind of see it however you want to see it. But ain't nobody out there going to agree with a scorecard like that. They're really not. So quite why that judge came up with that particular scorecard is beyond me and most of you, I'm sure. But either way, the WBA have actually taken action on this one and suspended the judge. So that's good news. Hopefully the WBC, the IBF and the WBO will follow suit, and of course other sanctioned bodies and that around like IBO, etc. And hopefully here in the UK, the British Boxing Board of Control will just grab hold of these judges and make them accountable, because that's exactly what needs to happen. Changes need to happen. I know this has been going on since whenever boxing first started. It's been going on and on and on, but it's getting to the point now where you should all be looking at a fight from the same angle. There should be no bias in this one. There should be no peer pressure in this one. If necessary, remove the judges from ringside. Put them somewhere with a TV monitor where they can see it. So therefore, they're not going to have any kind of peer pressure, any kind of worry about when the fight's finished. They have to leer off back into the changing rooms and get past the crowd who may throw bottles of piss at them, I don't know. But either way, do something. Something needs to change. And big up to the WBA on this particular subject. Anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.